Sinna go bhé a cairde agus bhuair géad míle fáilte go dtí an tránage 7-0 an nocht an bhairt bhog seo a cairde is mise Ciarán Magír agus mise a bheits libh fá uair a clig a bhog na mhór agus túla an a bheitlumm I gahabh on Shrielu iniu. Folks, you're very welcome to our weekly Tranagest at this stage in association with Fermanagh GAA TV. Myself, Kieran McGear, I'll be with you for this, our 5th quiz. So hopefully you are looking forward to another very enjoyable quiz as part of the provisions which Fermanagh GAA are providing to use during our current lockdown. So if we take a look at our broadcast schedule, which will come up now in a minute on your screen, we can see some of the events that have been taking place in the last number of weeks, and those are planned during the month of May. Of course, we had an interview with the president of the GAA, John Horan, who was in the Sunday and the questions are set out in following the categories that were followed in the last number of weeks. So round number 1, Bout to Ahian, is a round where all the questions are based around general knowledge referring to things in Ireland. So eyes down, folks, pen and paper at the ready. We'll read the questions out twice, give you a couple of seconds afterwards, and then we will move on with the next question. And of course, we're going to come back to our answers after that there. So, Kesh Divrihian, the first question on our About to Hian General Knowledge Ireland round tonight. In which city was Eamon de Valera born? In which city was Eamon de Valera born? Former Taoiseach and former President of Ireland, Eamon de Valera. In which city was he born? Question 2, a geography-related question. Name the 3 sister rivers. So in the province of Leinster, we have 3 rivers that join together, and they're known as the 3 sisters, but we want the names of those 3 rivers which all join together, known as the 3 sisters. Ceist Divre 3, question number 3. Where were the 16 leaders of the 1916 Easter Rising executed? In what location? So Ceist Divre 3, where were the 16 leaders of the 1916 Easter Rising executed? In what famous landmark location were they executed? Ceist Divre Ceathair, question number 4. What was Cuchulain's name? So we're all familiar with the story of how Cuchulainn got his name, but what was his name before the name of Cuchulainn, the Hound of Ulster, was applied to him? Ceist Ifre Cuig, question number 5. Name the largest of the 4 provinces in Ireland by area. So what of the 4 provinces has the largest area? Is it Ulster, Munster, Connacht, or Leinster? Ceist Ifre Sé, question number 6. In what county is the town of Cahersiveen, or Cahersiveen as sometimes it is referred to? Cahersiveen. In what county would you find that town? Ceist Ifre Seacht, question number 7. What county's car registration contains the letters DL? So what county has the registration DL? Ceist Ifre Hacht. So coming towards the end of our first round, which is in general knowledge referring to Ireland, which county is known as the Bonner County? Which county is known as the Bonner County? Ceist Ifre Ní. In what county was St. Bridget born? In what county was St. Bridget born? So what modern day county was St. Bridget born? And Ceist Ifre J. What is An Cranachar Náisiúnta? What is An Cranachar Náisiúnta? So An Cranachar Náisiúnta is the term in Irish we use for what I don't want to say event, or what basically is known as An Cranachar Náisiúnta. That's just the Irish language term that we use for something that what's the English term for An Cranachar Náisiúnta? And that completes the 10 questions in Beirte Ivrahi and General Knowledge Ireland. So those are our 10 questions. We'll move on then to Beirte Ivradá, which is the next round. And they are general knowledge questions, and these are not specific to Ireland, all around the world. So Beirte Ivradá, general knowledge again, and Ceist Ivrahian. What do the 13 stripes on the USA flag represent? What do the 13 stripes on the USA flag represent? Ceist Ivradá, the tallest building in the world, is located in which city? The tallest building in the world is located in which city? If you are at home, if you know the name of the tallest building in the world, make sure to write it down, and and of course, in which city is it located. But if you're not sure, have a guess, because in all quizzes I say this all the time: something may be right, but nothing definitely wrong. Okay, so that's question Ceist Ifre Dó. Ceist Ifre 3. Which film was the first to be recognized as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Which film was the first to be recognized as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? without giving away too many clues, it's certainly a recent film that has been out in the last 10 years or so. So, what is the name of that film? Ceist ifir cethair, a geography style question again. What is the capital city of New Zealand? What is the capital city of New Zealand? Ceist ifir cuaig. Now, if there's a younger member doing the quiz with you tonight, I'd be looking towards them for inspiration for this one here. Ceist ifir cuaig. What is Postman Pat's surname? What is Postman Pat's surname? I didn't even know he had one. Ceist ifir sé. What was the name of the tower block where Del Boy and Rodney Trotter lived in the hit TV show Only Fools and Horses? What was the name of the tower block where Del Boy and Rodney Trotter lived in the hit TV show Only Fools and Horses? Ceist ifir seacht. What is the name of the street on which Australian soap Neighbours is set? What is the name of the street on which the Australian soap Neighbours is set? Ceist ifir a hat, testing your film swallow in the film Matrix. Which colour pill does Neo swallow in The Matrix? So those of you will remember the famous scene where he's given two coloured pills. One is to continue an imaginary life, and the other one is to wake up in the real world. He's given two options. He's given one option. It's either this pill or that pill. But which pill does he end up taking? Ceist ifir a ní. What number is found in reference to their varieties on Heinz products? What number is found in reference to their varieties on Heinz products? So I'm sure you're like me, you're in the fridge every couple of minutes and you're lifting the red sauce and the mayonnaise and all that there, but what number is on those Heinz bottles? And Ceist ifir J. How many permanent members are there on the UN Security Council? And if you get the answer, name them. How many permanent members are there on the UN Security Council? So I'll give you the clue. It's not that many, because there's quite a lot of temporary members, but there are only a select number of permanent members. And if you get that number, try your best to name them all out. So with that, that's Ceist ifir J, and that completes Bouta Adá general knowledge. So those are the 10 questions in round number 2, general knowledge, this evening. So what we're going to do now is we'll move back to Bouta and the fragrances to general knowledge Ireland. Okay, so question number 1. In which city was Eamon de Valera born? Eamon de Valera was, of course, born in New York. He was born in New York. Question 2. Name the 3 sister rivers. They are the Barrow, the Nore, and the Suir. So there you go. On your screen, you're going to see the map with the three rivers, the Barrow, the Nore, and the Suir, and you're going to see how the three of them all join together before flowing out there, not so far from Hookhead. Okay, so that's the answer to Ceist Divra Dó. Ceist Divra 3, where were the 16 leaders of the 1916 rising executed? They were, of course, executed in Kilmainham Jail. And I'm sure you'll know 104 years ago, the rising took place. And it's in and around this time where you're seeing it's coming up on Facebook where some of these leaders were executed. I think today, the 12th of May, is the date that James Connolly was executed all the way 104 years ago. Ceist Divra Cethair, question number 4. What was Cuchulain's name? Cuchulain's name, of course, was Setanta. So he went by the name Setanta before killing the hound, and then Cuchulain, Cuolu, of course, the Hound of Ulster was the name that he was given after that there. Ceist Divra Cuignin, the largest of the 4 provinces in Ireland. The largest province by area is the province of Munster. And with County Cork in the middle of it, they're well they're well on their way to have the size of Cork. It's of course the largest county in Ireland, and Tipperary and Kerry's no small ones either. So there you go. That's the largest province in Ireland regarding area. Ceist Divra Sé, in what county is the town of Cahersiveen found? It's found in County Kerry. Ceist Divra Seacht, what county's car registration contains the letters DL? It's Donegal, Dunanal. So there you'll see on your screen that Dublin, of course, just runs with the DL, or sorry, beg pardon, Dublin just runs with the D registration on their cars. So that is, and Donegal uses the DL lettering. Okay, Ceist Divra Hacht, which county is known as the Banner County? Banner flies in Clare, of course. So County Clare is known as the Banner County. Ceist Divra Ní, in what county was St. Bridget born? St. Bridget was born in County Louth. Ceist Divra Jai, what is An Cranachar Náisiúnta? An Cranachar Náisiúnta is the national lottery. So that is the Irish term for the national lottery. Okay, so that is our answers to round number 1. We'll keep on moving with Bout to Ivra 3. And for the first time tonight, we're going to have a picture round. So on the screen, you're going to see pictures from 1 to 10. So at home, with your pen and paper, make sure and write down who the person is. So in these things here, we're looking for a first name and a surname. Okay, so we're going to flash them up on the screen. We'll leave them there for a wee while, and we'll start off with number 1. Now, moving on to number 2. And number 3. Yeah, so that man's certainly suffering in lockdown. No hairdressers or nothing to go to. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. So number 8, we'll give you a clue on that one there. That is in fact a picture of the First Minister of Wales. So if you know what the name of the First Minister of Wales, that's what he looks like anyway. So what's his name? And moving on to number 9. And finally, in this round, we have number 10. So there we go. Those are the 10 pictures of our picture round. So 1 to 10 in that order. Okay, now at this stage, after round number 3, believe it or not, but we're halfway through our quiz tonight. So we're going to take a short break and then we'll be back with the answers to round number 2.
Here's the thing. For years they told us to put that down, stop using this, get up off that or that, and get out of the house to spend time with them. Well, now they're asking us to do the complete opposite. Absolutely nothing. It's time to choose your weapon and help fight COVID-19. Stay home. By doing nothing, you're doing a lot to save lives. Visit hse.ie for more.
Agus fáilte aráis a cairde, so you're very welcome back to our online Fermanagh GAA. As you will see on your screen, some clubs are continuing their lottos on an online basis. So if you would like to subscribe to any of those clubs, you can see it. The link is down at the bottom, Fermanagh.GAA Lotto. So there you go. You can get in on those clubs lottos and support the clubs that are continuing to do their lottos. And at this stage, I just would like to say a big thank you to those of you who are tuning in tonight, and those of you who have tuned in every week ever since we began this little endeavour of Tuesday night, just to provide some entertainment for the Gaels of Fermanagh, the loyal supporters who go up and down the country to support the teams that are that take to the field. So for those of you who are tuning in this evening, many thanks, and hopefully you are enjoying our quiz this evening. Now, before the break, we completed the questions for round number 3, which of course was a picture round. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move back to round number 2 and get the answers to our general knowledge. So there you can see on your screen, about a dó na fragri. Fragri are our answers. So Keshtivrahian in that round, what do the 13 stripes on the USA flag represent? They represent the 13 British colonies that declared independence in 1776. So those 13 colonies on the East Coast were the original states in America, and that's what your 13 stripes represents on the American flag. Okay, so question 2. The tallest building in the world is located in which city? Well, the tallest building in the world is called the Burj Khalifa, and it is found in Dubai. And I wouldn't like to guess how many feet it is, nor how many windows or how many steps it would take to get from top to bottom, but all I would say is it's bound to be a lot. So there we go. The Burj Khalifa is the tallest building at the minute, and it's in Dubai. Kesh Divra 3. Which film was the first to be recognised as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? It was Iron Man. So there you go. Iron Man was the first film in that franchise. Okay, Kesh Divra Cahir. What is the capital city of New Zealand? It is Wellington. Wellington is the administrative capital of New Zealand. Auckland's the largest city, but Wellington is the designated capital city of New Zealand. Okay, here's a real tickler. What is Postman Pat's surname? Postman Pat's surname. He's Pat Clifton, Patrick Clifton. There you are, and there he is on the screen, Postman Pat. So Clifton, that's the surname of Postman Pat. Right. Question 6. What was the name of the tower block where Delboy and Rodney Trotter lived, and only fooling horses? They lived in Nelson Mandela House. Question 7. What is the name of the street on which the Australian soap Neighbours is set? It's Ramsay Street. Okay, so Summer Bay is Home and Away, and sometimes you get the two of them mixed up, but Ramsay Street is, of course, Neighbours. Right. Question 8. Which colour pill does Neo swallow in the Matrix? He's given the choice of a blue pill, but he turns it down and instead he swallows the red pill. And the rest is history. Ceist Divra. What number is found in reference to their varieties on Heinz products? So well done, those of you who rummaged through the fridge to find this here. But those of you that know, of course, you will know the answer is 57. And there you go. You see it on your screen. That's the place where you'll see that number in reference to their varieties on all Heinz products. Ceist Divra J, the final question in that round. How many permanent members are there on the UN Security Council? There are 5. and the 5 members of the UN Security Council are, beg pardon, China, France, Russia, Britain, and the USA. So those are the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. Okay, so there we go. That's the answers for Bouta Ivra general knowledge. Now we'll move on with Bouta Ivra Cethair, which is a round on Gaelic football. So straight away in this round, question number 1, Ceist Ivra Hain, Kieran Brannigan is a referee from which county? Kieran Brannigan is a referee from which county? Ceist Ivra what was the score in the 1982 Ulster Senior Football Inter-County Championship final? On that day, for those of you who are listening in tonight who were there, what was the final score? Okay, Ceist Ivra 3. Fermanagh College won the 1996 All-Ireland Vocational Schools Championship. Who managed that team? So that was on our screens. It's coming up, or it happened there on the broadcast schedule, which is Fermanagh GAA are providing. But as I said, Fermanagh College won the 1996 All Ireland Vocational Schools Championship. But who managed that team? Who was the joint managers? So that's a bit of a clue. So we had 2 managers on the day, but who were they? Ceist Ivra Cethair. Which 2 teams are currently at the top of the Alliance National Football League Division 2? That's, of course, the division which Fermanagh is in. So if the National League ever does come back, who are Fermanagh chasing at the top of that league? Seems like such a long time ago from the games were cancelled all the way back from about the 18th of March, I do believe. But on the 18th of March, who was at the top of the Alliance National Football League Division 2? Okay, Ceist Ivra Cúig. Which Tipperary player was killed in Croke Park on Bloody Sunday in 1920 and has a stand named in his honour? So we want the first and the second name of that Tipperary player who was killed in Croke Park on Bloody Sunday in 1922, 100 years ago, ever since Bloody Sunday happened in Croke Park. And who was that Tipperary player who was killed and has a stand named in his honour? First and second name, please. Ceist Ivra Sé, the treasurer of Fermanagh GAA, is a member of which club? So here we go. Local knowledge needed for this one, folks. The treasurer of Fermanagh GAA is a member of which club? Ceist Ivra Seacht. What is the name of the Fermanagh GAA training facility outside Enniskillen? What is the name of the Fermanagh GAA training facility outside Enniskillen? Ceist Ivra Hacht. Who scored the first point when Brewster Park opened in 1982? So this is one for the record book watchers. Who scored the first point when Brewster Park opened in 1982? Ceist Ivra Ní. Which player, the only one to do so in the same year, won an All-Star in football and hurling in 1971? Way back, that's near enough when the All-Stars were started. But who was the player, the only one to do so in the same year, won an All-Star in football and hurling in 1971? And Keist Ivraje. So what we're going to see is a list of winners' medals, or so this is someone's CV. But who is this person? So this person has won an All Ireland Senior Football Championship in the years 1976, 1977. They won a National Football League again in 76 and 77. They won an All Star in 76 to cap off a very successful year, and then they went on to win an FA Cup in 83 and 85. So not just a GAA footballer. Apparently, this person had skills which was snapped up by a soccer team, because they won an FA Cup in 1983 and 1985. Very a real haul of medals there, folks. But who is that person who won all of the following, all of the accolades that you see on screen? And that completes the bout to every Cahir, which is round number 4 on Gaelic football. Now, moving on, bout to every 3, we're going to get an fraggery from the picture round. So we had 1 to 10. Who were all these people? Well, number 1 was Brian Cody, of course, the Kilkenny hurling manager, and possibly the most successful hurling manager there ever has been. So that's remember that face. Number 2, Niamh Kilkenny. Number 2 is Niamh Kilkenny, and she is a member of the reigning All Ireland Camogie champions, who are Galway. And there you see her kitted out for action. Number 3 is, of course, quite a well-known Irish actor, and it is Brendan Gleeson. Number 4 is the famous musician and now senator in the Seanad, who is Francis Black. So there you see on your screen, you have number 4, and that is Francis Black, who is a well-known musician and now senator in Dáil Éireann in the Seanad. Number 5, one of the most famous handballers there has been, is of course Cavan's very own Paul Brady. So that's number 5. Number 6, as I said, first and second name needed here. It's Fermanagh's and Ballinalex's Shea Cullen. Number 7 is an American former politician-like person, because didn't actually get to become a politician, but it's Mike Flynn. He was U.S. National Security. He was a U.S. National Security advisor for about a week. And apparently, I'm told, has roots in County Tyrone, in between Town and Clabby. So that's there you go. That's your you learn something new every day, and apparently Mike Flynn has a grandparent from in and around that part of the country. Right, number 8, as I told you, is the First Minister of Wales. Who is he? He's a guy called Mark Drakeford. So that is the current First Minister of Wales, is Mark Drakeford. Okay, number 9. Number 9 was a picture of Tracy Kennedy, and Tracy Kennedy is the current chairperson of Cork GAA. She's the Cathaoirleach of Cork GAA at the minute. So that's number 9, Tracy Kennedy. And then number 10 is your Sunday game presenter and well-known broadcaster, Joanne Cantwell. And those are the answers to round number 3, which was our picture round. Round number 5, the penultimate round tonight, is a music round. So here we go, 10 questions on music. Ceist Vraheen, Noel and Liam Gallagher from the band Oasis have an older brother. What is his name? Noel and Liam Gallagher from Oasis have an older brother. What is his name? So what do you call the other Gallagher? Ceist Vrada, in what year did the pop band the Beatles split up? So in what year did the Beatles split up? Ceist Vrada, what nationality is the pop singer Justin Bieber? What nationality is Justin Bieber? Ceist Ivra. So this is a fill in the blank. I can guarantee you that I'm not going to sing this, so I'll just read it out to you. Complete this Spice Girl lyric. If you want to be my blank, you got to get with my friends. So that's close to singing as I'm going to get tonight. If you want to be my blank, you got to get with my friends. Okay, so what word should fill in the blank there? What Spice Girl song word? What word from a Spice Girl song should fill in that blank? Okay, question number 5. God Only Knows was a 1966 hit for which American band? God Only Knows was a 1966 hit for which American band? Ceist Sé, in what decade was pop icon Madonna born? In what decade was pop icon Madonna born? So if you don't know her exact age, all you have to do is guess which group of 10 years was Madonna born, which decade. So that's a good chance of guessing that one. Right. Ceist Shocked. Which two country singers famously sang together on the 1983 song Islands in the Stream? Which two country singers famously sang together on the 1983 song Islands in the Stream? Ceist Hocht. Which road do the Saw Doctor sing about in a song of homesickness and emigration? The Saw Doctor sing about being on what road? And the underlying themes in that song is homesickness and emigration. Ceist Renee, which instrument is James Galway famous for playing? Which instrument is James Galway famous for playing? And Ceist Ivra, final question in this round. According to Percy French's song, what do the Mourne Mountains famously do? According to Percy French's song, what do the Mourne Mountains famously do? And that completes Bouta Ivracuig, our music round tonight. Now, Bouta Ivraceathar, so we'll get our answers to Bouta Ivraceathar, which was our Gaelic football round. So question 1, Kieran Brannigan is the referee from which county? From the County Down. Okay, So there you go. You see him on the screen. Sometimes maybe you mightn't put a name to the face, but that should jog your memory of what Kieran Brannigan looks like, but he's from County Down anyway. Question 2. What was the score in the 1982 Ulster final? The final score was Armagh 10 points, Fermanagh 1-4. So I think the least said about that, the better, back in 1982. Right. Fermanagh College won the 1996 All-Ireland Vocational Schools Championship. Who managed that team? That team was managed by John McElroy and Kieran Carey. That's the 1996 All-Ireland Vocational Schools Championship winning team. Fermanagh College was managed by John McElroy and Kieran Carey. Which two teams are currently at the top of the Alliance National Football League Division 2, Armagh and Roscommon, both on 7 points each. So there you go, all the way back in March when the league was going on ahead, Armagh and Roscommon had 7 points. Right, which Tipperary player was killed in Croke Park on Bloody Sunday in 1920 and has a stand named in his honour? It was Michael Hogan. Okay, so for any of us who weren't aware, the Hogan stand, which all players dream of walking up the Hogan stand, lift the Sam Maguire or any of the club competitions, that's named after Michael Hogan, who was a Tipperary player shot and murdered in Croke Park on Bloody Sunday 100 years ago in 1920. Ceist Ivrishe, the treasurer of Fermanagh GAA, is a member of which club? And that, of course, the current treasurer is Sean Burns, and he's a member from the Belcoo Club. And there you see him there with Belcoo jacket on. I'm sure it's Belcoo jacket, and I wouldn't say that man had put a Dublin one on him because loyal to the club, I'm sure. So there you go, that's Sean Burns. Right. Question 7. What is the name of the Fermanagh GAA training facility outside Enniskillen? It is, of course, Listen. Okay, so there we go. That's Ceist Ivrishacht. Question 8. Who scored the first point when Brewster Park opened in 1982? That point was scored by Johnny Leonard. Ceist Ivrinee, which player, the only one to do so in the same year, won an All-Star in football and hurling in 1971. It was won by Ray Cummins of Cork. So I would imagine quite a lot of people might have had a different dual player from Cork for that one, but it's Ray Cummins who won the All-Star in football and hurling in the same year. And the final question, that was who had won all those accolades, an All-Ireland Senior Football Championship in 76 and 77, a National Football League again in 76 and 77, an All-Star in 76, and then went on to win an FA Cup in 83 and 85. It's Kevin Moran, all right? Manchester United's Kevin Moran, but he won that stuff with Dublin. So there you go, quite a career. Now, Bouta Ashe, the final round tonight. So we've come to our final round, and this is a round where this round is Who Said That? Because what we're going to see is a list of 10 quotations, and we want to know who said this quotation. Right. So number one, the first quotation. If it was raining soup, the Irish would go out with forks. If it was raining soup, the Irish would go out with forks. Who said that? Our second quotation. You cannot conquer Ireland. You cannot extinguish the Irish passion for freedom. If our deed has not been sufficient to win freedom, then our children will win by a better deed. You cannot conquer Ireland. You cannot extinguish the Irish passion for freedom. If our deed has not been sufficient to win freedom, then our children will win by a better deed. Number 3. Young people of Ireland, I love you. Young people of Ireland, I love you. Number 4. Think like a wise man, but communicate in the language of the people. Think like a wise man, but communicate in the language of the people. Number 5. I'm not giving away any secrets like that to Tipperary. If I had my way, I wouldn't even tell them the time of the throw-in. I'm not giving away any secrets like that to Tipperary. If I had it my way, I wouldn't even tell them the time of the throw-in. Who said that? Number 6. 5 to 8 points. Well, from Lapland to the Antarctic, that's level scores in any man's language. 5 to 8 points. Well, from Lapland to the Antarctic, that's level scores in any man's language. Number 7. Play every match as if it's your last, but play well enough so that it isn't. Play every match as if it's your last, but play well enough so that it isn't. Number 8. I am at a loss to know whether to weep more for those they killed or those that are captured, or indeed for these men themselves whom the devil has taken fast for his slaves. I am at a loss to know whether to weep more for those they killed or those that they captured, or indeed for these men themselves whom the devil has taken for his slaves. Number 9. I was elected by the women of Ireland, who instead of rocking the cradle, rocked the system. I was elected by the women of Ireland, who instead of rocking the cradle, rocked the system. And number 10. It is not because I loved England less, but because I loved Ireland more that I now stand before you. It is not because I loved England less, but because I loved Ireland more that I now stand before you. And that completes our Tuesday night quiz. So what we've got to do now is get our answers to round number 5, which was our music round. So question number 1, Noel and Liam Gallagher from Oasis have an older brother. What is his name? He is Paul Gallagher. Number 2, in what year did the Beatles split up? 50 years ago in 1970. Number 3, what nationality is Justin Bieber? He's Canadian. Number 4, complete this Spice Girl lyrics. If you want to be my blank, you got to get with my friends. If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. Okay. Number 5, God Only Knows was a 1966 hit for which American band? That was the Beach Boys. Number 6, in what decade was pop icon Madonna born? In the 1950s. So Madonna was born in 1958. Number 7, which two country singers famously sang together in the 1983 songs Islands in the Stream? That's Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. Number 8, which road did the Saw Doctor sing about in the song about homesickness and emigration? N17. I wish I was on the N17. Number 9, which instrument is James Galway famous for playing? He's famous for playing the flute. And there you go, you see him on your screen there now. That's James Galway. And number 10, according to Percy French's song, what do the mountains of Mourne famously do? The mountains of Mourne sweep down to the sea. And those are the answers to our music round number 5. Now, round number 6 was a round of quotations. So the quotations in that one, the first one was, if it was raining soup, the Irish would go out with forks. Who said that? It was the playwright, poet, and activist Brendan Behan. All right. So it's Brendan Behan who said that there. The second quotation, you cannot conquer Ireland. You cannot extinguish the Irish passion for freedom. If our deed has not been sufficient to win freedom, then our children will win by a better deed, was said by Pádraig Pearse. Pádraig McPeirish said that there. Third quotation. Young people of Ireland, I love you, was said by Pope John Paul II on his visit to Ireland in 1979, and famously copied by Joe Connolly in 1980, when Galway won the All Ireland in hurling, and he said, "People of Galway, we love you." Number 4. Think like a wise man, but communicate in the language of the people. That was said by William Butler Yeats. Number 5. I'm not giving away any secrets like that to Tipperary. If I had my way, I wouldn't even tell him the time of the throw in. That come from the razor sharp wit of Gerlach Nan. Number 6. 5 to 8 points. Well, from Lapland to the Antarctic, that level scores in any man's language. The one and only Micheál Murahirty. Number 7. Play every match as if it's your last, but play well enough so that it isn't. Jack Lynch. Okay, so the former Taoiseach, Jack Lynch, said that there, and an All Ireland winner with Cork. Number 8. I am at a loss to know whether to weep more for those they killed or those that are captured, or indeed for these men themselves, whom the devil has taken fast for his slaves. That was said by St. Patrick. Number 9, I was elected by the women of Ireland who, instead of rocking the cradle, rocked the system. President Mary Robinson, upon her election in 1990. Non Heron was her slogan. Okay. And the final quotation for you tonight, the answer to it. It is not because I loved England less, but because I loved Ireland more that I now stand before you. So this was a speech from the dock of a court given by Terence Bellew McManus, who fought in the Young Irelanders Rebellion in the 1840s. And Terence McManus was originally born in Tempo in County Fermanagh. Very interesting background story for Terence Bellew McManus, but it was him who said, "It is not because I loved England less, but because I loved Ireland more that I now stand before you." So there we go. That is our Tránna Gceist tonight, a Cardi Gael. Gur maigah as a bheith linn aniu, be me héana ráis an teachtain seo thugainn agus tásúil ó chrí go mé se bhan anna bheith lom an bhhairt seo thugainn. Go dtí sin ná dena go dearmad na chréaltaí a bhés le feicáil Fermanagh GAA chláirithe leis an chunta sin bu go mór chláirú agus sifi sibh on scale. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, many thanks for joining us tonight for our Tránna Gceist live. We're going to be back next Tuesday night, the 19th of May, same time, same place. You can see the schedule, what's coming up in the next couple of days. So tune into that there. And if you haven't already subscribed to the Fermanagh GAA TV YouTube page, get doing that right now while we stay at home fansawala during our current COVID-19 lockdown. Wim Shakiran McGear Gji and Chakan Chuhugging Slan Spanacht.